and cool. Thank you, Delta Sonics. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our TV show today here at CCTV Channel 54. Thank you very much for having us. I'd like to thank the Delta Sonics. You can find them at deltasonics.net. Don't go anywhere because they will be playing for our show later on. My name is Jill Watkins. I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, Honey, the Blues Bee, Cepeda.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Delta Sonics. This is the first show, and we have a lot to cover. This is also one of the busiest months of the summer for the blues, with lots of festivals and things coming up. And we have first is Greeley Blues Festival, June 14th, Saturday, June 14th, 11 to 11, rain or shine. And the lineup, well, you have a good friend there.
I do. One of my favorite people showing in the Greeley Blues Festival is going to be Erica Brown. Erica Brown is my girl. You can find her at ericabrownband.com. And she will be playing, when is she playing?
She's on the main stage, I know. I think it's going to be around 3 or 4. I couldn't.
She's the main stage from noon to 1. Noon to 1 at the Greeley Blues Festival. Don't miss it. My name is Jill Watkins, and my co-host Honey Cepeda and I have been talking for months and months about putting on this show, Broads on Blues. And we have lots to share with you, lots of bands that we're very excited about. The band that today we're most excited about, of course, is the Delta Sonics. Thank you very much for being a part of our inaugural show today. I myself sort of personally think the Delta Sonics is one of the more quintessential blues bands in the area. Anytime a national artist comes flowing through town, they usually call them if they don't want to bring their whole band. And then the Delta Sonics, I've seen them back up many, many people.
Classic blues.
Definitely classic blues. So we wanted to take this opportunity and give you a show the first Sunday of every month and bring to you the cool blues news that we think that you need to see and that you need to go out and hear.
One-stop shopping for all your blues news in the area.
Exactly. And our underwriter for our TV show is the Boulder Outlook Hotel and Suites, the blues ambassador, Mr. Dan King. Thank you, Dan, very much.
Ambassador of cool.
Tell them a little bit about the Boulder Outlook Hotel.
Okay, bit of disclosure here. I also do promotions for the Boulder Outlook, a weekly blues letter that I write, which can be found on bouldershomeoftheblues.com. So Dan King, Ambassador of Cool and the Outlook is underwriting the show. They're doing a lot for the blues in the area. I understand from a lot of the national acts who've come through, which usually there are 2 or 3 a month, that this area is one of the fastest growing areas for touring blues artists right now in terms of the amount of clubs, because you've got the Outlook, Nieces, Oscar Blues, the Little Bear in Evergreen, not terribly far, even Winter Park with John Catt. The Grand County Blues Society. I have to talk about John Catt a little bit later.
She has a little bone to pick with Mr. John Catt.
I'll get to Mr. Catt a little bit later. Okay. But there's so much going on that national acts can come through Colorado and literally do 2 weeks worth of gigs and not play the same place twice. And so that's one of the reasons why the Outlook is helping it grow, with finally Boulder having a more dedicated blues club again.
Plus the Boulder Outlook Hotel is where we met.
That's where we met.
It
was a year and a half ago. We were introduced by none other than
Steady rollin', Mr. Bob Margolin.
Prodigal son of the Outlook.
Indeed.
Yes.
So we have a lot of common threads between
well, it was
you
actually
and
Bob Margolin who introduced us to these guys as well, the Delta Sonics.
That's true.
That is true, because they back him when he is traveling through Colorado, as the legend that he is. Recent winner of the Blues Music Award for Best Instrumentalist Guitar.
Yes, congratulations, Bob.
That was a wonderful thing. I was introduced to the blues at the age of 18.
Really?
Yes, my brother saw, actually it was Bob Margolin, a blues band saying, "Come on, let's go in here and listen."
Nice.
I was 10, like, who, what, no. And I think once you hear the live blues like that, only once. And I don't think it's the filet mignon versus cheeseburger thing. You just can't go back to anything else. So it's come full circle years later that Bob would be in town, run into him again, and here we are doing a television show now.
Look at us.
And your blues background, though, is way long.
Oh, I just, I'm currently singing with George Weitzel and his All-Stars featuring Jill Watkins. You can find us many places, myspace.com/George Weitzel or Jill@JillWatkins.com. But I started out actually in church choir through gospel, and I grew up on Aretha Franklin. She was my shero, big time. And so didn't really start singing the blues or get into the blues until I was in college.
College will give you the blues.
College will give you the blues. And what was I doing? Oh, I was traveling with some girlfriends doing karaoke. And then a friend of a friend of a friend asked if I could sing in a band and sing backup, and that lasted for about a week. And they realized
you're not backup.
I'm really not a backup singer. So
the tiara kept distracting
I
from
don't
the
know
others.
what it was. It just kept. So they quickly moved me up front and made me learn. I got it. The very first band I was in was called Buckethead Dog. You know how a dog gets a ears fixed and they have the. We thought that was the saddest thing we could possibly think of. So we thought that was a good idea for a blues band.
That is a good name.
And I thank my bass player. His name was Scott Johnson, probably still is. And he shoved all sorts of Allman Brothers down my throat and all sorts of the old classic stuff that, you know, as a girly girl listening to Aretha Franklin most of the time, I got exposed to a lot of that, so that was a good time. And then Jill Watkins Band version 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Version 5 lasted a good 4 years, had a great time. And then met George Weitzel at a Jimmy Thackeray concert.
Oh, Jimmy Thackeray. I think Al Chessis and I might have a little story about Jimmy Thackeray.
Tell that story.
Okay, there was this club on 34th and M Streets in Washington, D.C. It closed in the mid-'80s. It's called Desperados, and everyone played there. And a couple of years before I discovered this club, before I moved to D.C., music history was made there. On the north side of the street was the Cellar Door, and on the south side across the street was Desperados. And you had George Thorogood and the Delaware Destroyers at the Cellar Door, and across the street was Jimmy Thackeray and the Nighthawks.
George Thorogood and Jimmy Thackeray across the street from each other.
And M Street is like it's like 4-lane major traffic.
Really.
And at a prearranged, and again I wasn't there. At a prearranged time, they both started into Madison Blues. Both left the stage, met in the middle of M Street. The sound guy from the Cellar Door was out stopping traffic, and the two of them were out there for several minutes just trading licks back and forth. Then they unplugged, switched, and took the opposite stage.
And went
back and played with each other's bands.
And
Finished Madison Blues. But the whole thing had been worked out in advance, but they didn't really tell anybody. And the cars were stopped, no horns were honking. Everybody was just. It was one of those moments. I wasn't there, but just to read about it and hear about it. And that club closed a few years ago.
What club?
Desperados. I'm sure Al Chessis will tell you about it in a little bit. He liked that club a lot too. So.
That's right.
And Jimmy Thackeray is going to be in our fair state this month as well.
Yes, he is. Another reason for our show is we wanted to give you calendars, as much information as we can on the shows that we think you have to see. We are keeping a running list of all of the local blues calendars on our site. Our site currently is www.myspace.com/broadsonblues. We will be getting a broadsonblues.com shortly, but for now,
under construction. Yes.
Right, under construction. But for now, go to our MySpace site, and we have a list of the Colorado Blues Society calendar there, Pikes Peak Blues calendar, Grand County Blues, and we're gathering more and more information.
And also more from clubs who tend to play blues will put their calendars on as well, and it'll be one-stop shopping.
That's what we're shopping.
We like that.
That's what we're hoping for.
So you just go to one spot, find out who's playing where. We do want to talk about Greeley, though. You want to talk about Greeley?
Greeley Blues Fest is going to be June 14th, held in Greeley.
Of all places.
Of all places. We have some amazing acts, especially on the main stage. Erica Brown Band. Erica Brown is my girl.